credible threat. New York City police officers were reminded earlier today, in a communication to be on heightened alert ahead of a especially busy holiday season when tourists flock to the Big Apple. Law enforcement sources told Pix 11 News Tuesday. Separately, a federal law enforcement source told PIX 11 of a possible threat that could face any one of several major U.S. cities. Few details were released about the nature. Now, doesn't that fly in the face of what the president said just a few days ago, that there are no credible threats? Think about that. The president was telling us, well, hey, we don't want people all out there, because you guys, news is out there telling everybody that, men with black flags are going to come to get them. We don't have any credible threats. And every time we have somebody from the administration telling us that there are no credible threats that are active in these United States, do we not seem to get hit? Or we find out that they just prevented Americans from being hit. Well, I mean, if you got the FBI and the ATF and Homeland Security running around arresting people, to me that seems like it was a credible threat, but they're telling us there isn't one. And when you got 14 people that die down in San Bernardino, that tells me that there was a credible threat. When you have 130 people who get massacred in Paris, France, that tells me there was a credible threat. And every single time this president gets up there and tells us there is no credible threat, then somebody dies, and then he says, well, we saw no credible threat. This is just an anomaly. And people shouldn't be worried. You should go about your daily business. Kind of like, well, we're going to issue a worldwide travel advisory for Americans. But don't worry, there's no credible threat against your safety, but we're going to issue that anyway. Well, how about the U.S.? This is the United States. We're not going to, where ISIS and Al-Qaeda say that they have thousands of operatives just waiting to strike. Obviously, one of their operatives struck in San Bernardino. In just a few days, it wasn't over the weekend that the president said, there's no credible threat. And now New York City is being, reminding its officers, and the federal law enforcement agency is reminding officers of several major U.S. cities that there is obviously a credible threat. And of course, over the weekend, you have this, what do they call a female jackass? A jackass, I guess? You've got the news media in an uproar because Donald Trump used the word schlong instead of what Hillary Clinton was saying. I think that's more important. I don't give a rip that if he's supposed to take, you got to know it's Donald. He's supposed to take on the top Democrat possible nominee because that's who he's probably, if he gets a nomination, that's probably who he's going to be running against. So yeah, he's got to try to tear her apart. That's the nature of politics. Well, he didn't have to use it. On Sean Hannity today, he had a guest host. They bleeped on Sean Hannity's show. They bleeped the word schlong. Are you kidding? And she couldn't say it. She kept saying, she got to the point where you say the word, she go, are you kidding me? Schlong, 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 schlong. It's not a swear word. I mean, hell, Hannity and Rush and everybody else on the radio have used the word hell, like I just did, and other swear words. The only thing they haven't bleeped out on the airwaves lately is the F-bomb. And yet they're going to bleep out schlong? Because Donald Trump used it? And their focus was, did he actually pronounce it right? Did he say it right? Did he use it in the right context or the right... And not focusing on what Hillary Clinton said. People are more... I've seen the chatter. I just call it chatter. On social media. People are more concerned and have more strong feelings about the Miss America or Miss Universe contest, and how the wrong woman, was originally announced as, with the new crown. Are you kidding me? They're still talking about it. But nobody's talking about what Hillary Clinton said about ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And nobody's talking about the fact that the president said that there's no credible threat. And now today we find out that there is lots of credible threat, that they're issuing it to major cities across the country. And the biggest city in this country is on heightened alert. Unbelievable. This is, what do you expect from the lamestream media, folks? What do you expect? These people are in the tank for Hillary, and they're going to do anything and everything they possibly can, just like they did for Obama, but I don't think the American people are going to fall for it this time. Maybe let's just hope that the lamestream media's hold on the politics of this country has been broken once and for all. Because try as I might, I can't understand how it is that the American people in 2010 can usher in such a huge political change. Over 700 seats going from Democrat to Republican in one election. And yet we still re-elect Barack Obama 2 years later. I don't fully understand that yet. I'm wrapping my brain around it. I'm trying to. I haven't gotten there. I haven't quite fully figured it out, other than the common denominator to all of the Democratic wins over the past 20 years has been the lamestream media. And that they protected this guy in 2008 in order to propel him to the office because they thought it would be so historical. Wouldn't it be historical? Wouldn't it have been just as historical if a black Republican like Alan Keyes was elected as president? No, that could not have been historic. Absolutely not. No way. Can't have that. What you can have, however, is something from our new sponsor for this segment of the program, Kyani, which is a nutraceutical company which has developed a simple yet extraordinary, or is it the word extraordinary? If you're British, I guess you say extraordinary, nutritional system that has helped hundreds of thousands of people around the world to achieve financial freedom and optimal health at the same time. So you can enjoy this freedom, the freedom of working your own hours, spending time on the things that really matter to you, spending more time with your family, your friends, having better health, general overall health, spending more time on the golf course if you want. And with Kyani's unmatched Dream Car program, their exotic retreats program, and lucrative compensation, Kyani actually helps you create the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. So check them out today. Join their business program or just their optimal health program, and you can experience a lot of this stuff on your own. Go to elitehealth.teamfusionlifestyle.com. Again, that's elitehealth.teamfusionlifestyle.com. 46 hours straight. By the way, did you know that the IRS now has the power to revoke your passport? Yeah, just another government agency that has something that was originally the purview of the State Department is now the purview of the State Department and the Justice Department and the Department of Defense and now the IRS. Did you know all those I don't think there's any other department that can hold up your passport or revoke it. But, give them a little while. They'll figure out some reason. And the reason that they're saying is so they can prevent people who are avoiding or who are suspected of avoiding paying their taxes from skipping the country and staying here and paying the price. I guess we've had too many people skipping the country who owed too much in taxes. Well, I got an idea for you. if you want people to, you don't need to revoke people's passports if you want them to stay. If they're in trouble with the IRS in their tax situation, there's one way to get them to stay. Well, but if you do this too, you might not actually get the tax money. But there's one way to get people to stay who are, in trouble with the IRS for not paying their so-called fair share in taxes. Just run them for public office. And better yet, get them elected. We have a few of them now that are serving in the House and in the Senate, and they've served in cabinet leadership positions, and I'm sure that they're in state houses across the country too. So just run them for public office, and they won't go anywhere. No, I mean you probably won't. I don't know. Has any of the Did they all pay back? Did Tim? Remember Tim Geithner used to be the secretary treasurer or treasurer of the secretary of the Treasury. Excuse me. Did he pay back all his tax? Al Sharpton still owes millions of dollars, right? So add that to it too. If just make them a minister of the cloth that happens to be that claims to be a civil rights activist. Now, does Jesse Jackson owe any taxes? I don't know if he does or doesn't, but due to what happened last week with Paul Ryan, and there is a huge backlash against Paul Ryan right now for the omnibus bill, the budget vote, and it's reaching a head. I don't know where Ryan goes from here, but Franklin Graham has decided to quit the GOP over Planned Parenthood funding and the Ryan supported bill. I mean, I'm saying, folks, you got to hold it together. You got to hold it together. We can't be jumping ship. Not right now. We got too much at stake. Well, that sound means that we are out of time yet again, but we'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. Until then, I'm Rod Eccles. This has been the Rod Eccles Show. Have a wonderful evening. I'm out.